Hi, everybody, and welcome to a live edition of .com. I'm Bob Sokoler, and glad you are here. We are going for the next hour, being able to answer your questions, show you some new stuff that's available on the web and using your computer. And you'll be able to call in or email us at any time during the next hour. The phone number to reach us, and you might want to jump on board now, the lines will clog up pretty quickly. We have a number of people calling in. 584-7518, that is 584-7518. Let me give you our fairly new email address that will be very simple for you to remember. It was pretty interesting that they picked this for me. .combob@home.com. .combob@home.com. Very simple? All right. We'll take those emails on the air as well as your phone calls in just a few moments. Of course, if you want more information about Insight Communications, whether here on Channel 8 or cable or at-home service, you can always go to the Insight website, and that is www.insight-com.com. Now, let me introduce to you just some of the folks who are here to answer your questions, and they'll be here for the next, well, this group for half an hour, then we'll swap out with another group of our 84 online from our computer show on Sunday members who are here. Let's start in the back there, and to the left is Matthew Mercurio from Clear Channel.
Hi, Bob.
Good to see you, Matt. That is the guru over at Clear Channel, including 84 WHAS. Next to him, Kyle Harmon, who is a webmaster for UCAN Web. Kyle's the youngest member of our group, by the way, 16 years of age.
Happy tax day, Bob.
Yeah, you betcha. And we've done those taxes, aren't we? All done with them? Yeah? Okay. In front of Kyle is AJ, a.k.a. the Junk Man.
How's it going, Bob?
Good to see you, sir, as always. And next to AJ, it's John Markham, who, well, I'll give you a list. His titles keep growing. He is now, he is President-elect of KIPCUG, which is the Kentucky Indiana PC Users Group. And you're also the chairman of the board for VenueSoft.
Correct.
An attorney. And his list goes on and on and on. And certainly we're glad that he's here. And then they'll be here for 30 minutes, and we'll swap it out with some other of our friends who are on our team. Of course, you can always reach us by calling that number on the screen right now, 584-7518, when we are on the air broadcasting. Now, one other thing, you can see our shows, our .com shows, the 30-minute pre-recorded shows on a number of occasions here on Channel 8 throughout the weeks. And those are some of the things we try to demonstrate new software and go into a little more detail as we move along on a very interesting topic, which is, of course, computers. Well, gentlemen, let's just start with throw something out there. One of the newest websites out there, it's called Scour.com. Guys, have you been out there? Have you played around with this?
Scour? I have visited. Yes.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to bring it up on our computer.
This is pretty much a website like Napster was, wasn't it?
Absolutely right. Yep.
Only it does more. It does images, it does videos, as well as MP3s.
And that's what makes this extremely different. I mean, here we are right now. In fact, I just went up to it. This is it, the front page, and basically it's got MP3 searches, so you can do audio. You can also do video. There are images and a variety of other things. And I would suggest, by the way, for parents to keep an eye out and watch the kids when they, in fact, go ahead and watch.
That's a Big Ten for.
Right. Download stuff off of this because there's adult content.
But that's what I'd like to call is a community site. In other words, you go in and you can post your things as well as find pictures or MP3s from other people.
Mm-hmm. Also, for example, here's a trailer from Gone in 60 Seconds. There's The Professional. There are a variety of things that are on here that make this for a very interesting website. Again, this is Scour.com, and you can get there on the internet. Now, one of the things that we brought in, and I'm not sure Matthew has it on his person, if not, let's get it to him, is what we would consider the newest in technology for a motherboard that you would put in your computer. Now, this is advanced technology that's just coming down the pike. Matt, have you got it on there with you?
We're
getting it now?
I'm getting it as we speak.
All right, take a look at this.
Now he has it.
Explain what that is there, buddy.
Okay, this is the new motherboard. Let me turn it the right way up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, this is a new motherboard out that's capable of doing dual 800 Pentium chips. If you notice right here, there are two slots that you can put two 800 Pentium chips that also accept AMD Athlons if you want, or you could do a Celeron. But it's probably recommended to do Pentium or AMD. Also up here, as you can see these slots for the memory, it will hold up to 1 gigahertz of memory. unbelievable. There is so much processor power on this motherboard, it is hard to imagine. Can you imagine the first computers that were available when they were made didn't have a tenth of this kind of power? And I believe you can get one of these motherboards probably for around $150, something like that.
And what about once you populate it with memory and?
Well, once you put it all together, get memory, get a hard drive, get a couple processors. If you want to do dual processors, by the way, you don't have to do dual processors. You can just use one chip. But if you do choose to do dual processors, it'll probably run you around $1,500, $1,600.
And that's if you build it yourself.
Right.
Right. You want to have somebody build it for you. Obviously, it's going to cost more money.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's start with a phone call, then we'll go to the email. We've got Courtney calling in from J-Town. Hi, Courtney. You're on the live edition of .com. How can we help you?
I wish somebody could just please tell me what I am doing wrong on trying to get off of my internet. It's driving me up the wall. I've been trying for about 6 months now.
Well, what exactly is it doing?
Well, it just won't, it won't let me get off, like, when I want to get off of the internet, but I want to stay on the computer. And I will go down, I'll do at first I was in a file and then go offline. And then I called you all, and y'all said something about there's a button down at the bottom that had the two little TV screens. I tried that, it worked a couple times, and now I can't seem to get it to work.
Woo. Guys, what do you think? We got a solution?
I think
for
she's
Courtney?
got something hanging up the modem. It's still on. Sometimes it might be the modem program, or what kind of ISP are you using? Are you on AOL?
Yes. No, wait a minute. Bell South, I'm sorry.
You're on Bell South. Sometimes there's a modem difficulty. I had a problem with it for a long time. I got a program called Modem Doctor, Modem MD, and it fixed the problem. Apparently, mine just wouldn't hang up. It didn't have the right hang-up string.
What was that available through, by the way? What are you
It
talking
was on ZDTV.
ZDNet?
ZDNet.
All right.
Hey, Courtney, let me ask you a question. Are the other phones that are in the house, are they not able to connect either? When this happens, do all the phones drop out?
Well, I connect, and cause see, it's just like one line. It's one line. I don't have any other line in the house.
Okay.
Just, so like when I'm on the computer, you can't use the phone at all.
I got you. This kind of happened to my father-in-law about a month ago, and what he did, in fact, he was trying to use one of the free ISPs, World Spy, I believe. Anyway, he ended up calling the telephone company, and they came out and checked his phone lines, and they swear up and down that it was nothing on their end, but outside of your house, there is a telephone side and a residential side of your phone box. And if you unplug your complete phone service from the telephone service, it releases whatever's hanging up. And this probably doesn't have anything to do with your computer or your modem, that it might have something to do with the phone line. So you might want to call Bell South and have them come out and run a test on your line.
Okay, so
Let's do this also. Courtney, let it show you where you can go and get this program that John Markham was talking about. All right, take a look at your TV if you got a second there. We're at ZDNet.com. Okay, that's the location for the downloads. And when you get to ZDNet, go to the downloads and do a search for Modem Doctor. And when you do that, here's the program that John was talking about, Modem Doctor. Then there's also Modem Doctor for Windows 95. Are you using 95 or 98?
95, I believe.
Okay, but then you'd want to download this program right here for 95, or it also works for 98 or NT, and it will diagnose any problems that your modem might be having.
Okay.
Does that sound good? That's a way to start, I think. And then also you can follow up with what Matt was telling you about the problems
Go ahead, Bob.
with your telephone line.
When you try to disconnect, what happens?
Well, like, for instance, like my mom will want to use the phone, and she'll say, get off the line or whatever. And so I'll just go to Files, go offline, and I was doing that for a while, and like I said, it wasn't disconnecting. So then I started using the computer buttons down at the bottom, and it would say disconnect, and I could hear a click that sounded like it was disconnecting, and I'd say, and the bottom of my screen would say, you are offline. So I'd say, okay, Mom, I'm offline, and she'd check the phone and say, no, you're not.
Wait a minute. You say that you click the word file up at your toolbar and go to work offline?
Well, I was doing that at first. I go file, and then you go, there's like middle ways through there.
Right.
It would say go offline.
Yeah, that's not the correct way to disconnect. All that's doing is telling your browser to work offline. That's not disconnecting your modem. when you want to close out of that, what I would do is I would hit the X that's in the top right-hand corner of the browser and close the browser, and then go down to those two little computers that you see in the lower right-hand corner of your taskbar, and right-click on it with your right mouse button, and it'll bring up a dialog box, and one of those choices will say disconnect, and you want to choose that option to disconnect your modem.
Okay, see, I'm just doing, okay, now I'm just going down to those two TV screens and left-clicking on those.
Oh, that's not turning you off, yeah.
Right-click on them, and it should bring up a box, and it should say disconnect and properties and a couple other things.
Okay, so that's what I'm doing.
Another thing you should check, who is your modem made by?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about the high-tech stuff like that.
Yeah, one thing you should probably try and do is check the manufacturer's website of either your computer or modem. Like if it's HP, check HP, and make sure your drivers are up to date, because sometimes those drivers may have the strings that it needs to close that modem connection.
Okay, well.
Courtney, good luck, and call us if you need us, again, if not here, over on our 84 Online show on radio, okay?
Okay, is there like maybe some written instructions that y'all could send me? Because, I mean, obviously calling in is not working.
All right, I tell you what, why don't you email us,
Okay.
.combob@home.com,
Okay.
and then we'll circulate that and get some suggestions.
Maybe I could try that. Maybe those will work.
You betcha.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Courtney.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Let's check some of the email that's coming in. Whoa, how about that? Talk about the telephone hanging up. Let's go to the email and take a look. Once again, by the way, you can call in. We are live tonight. Our live.com show, 584-7518. That is 584-7518. When Courtney hung up, we open up another telephone line so you can jump on board. Now, let's take a look at this email. This says, this is from Jonathan Durbin. He says, looking for a Win 2000 version of some sort of antivirus. P.S. Tell junk food or junk man, hey.
Oh, ouch.
Whoa, okay. Junk food, the junk man,
food.
the gauntlet has been tossed to you. Have you got something in the way of a 2000, which is typical because Norton antivirus is not necessarily set up for Windows 2000, but I think John's referring to.
Yes, John was one of my old high school buddies. Now, I don't know if Norton's has a version, Norton's 2000. I don't know if it will run on Windows 2000, but I would definitely look for that to give it a try. I'm actually thinking the Norton's version before 2000 worked on Windows 2000.
That's exactly right, AJ. I've got Norton's 5.0 running on my Windows 2000 box, and it does an excellent job.
Really? I didn't know that. So 5.0 works, but 2000
doesn't.
Yeah, what is going on there?
Well, they fine-tuned 2000 for the 98 crowd because they didn't think that Windows 2000 was going to be for the big population. So Norton's 2000, which is what I have, and I run 98, it's finally tuned for that, but it's not tuned for Windows 2000. And we've already had lots of phone calls on that.
Am I mistaken in thinking that Norton's 2000, and like I said, I might be mistaken here, but I thought Norton's 2000 was really designed and specifically built geared towards the year 2000 problem in it. I know that it was released, I think, right before the end of the year.
Yeah,
right.
And I think that it was
early
mainly
December.
put out just for the Y2K problem, but it had some extra goodies along with it.
It had some of the firewall things in it and some of the protections for cable. I mean, they've got some pretty good things in the mix.
Well, one of the nice things about Norton's 2000 is it has a email protection, which you can install when you do your install for Windows 2 or Norton's 2000, and it will actually protect you against any type of malicious attachment that might be included or sent to you in your email.
All right,
So
guys.
another thing to check out while you're at it, PC Magazine just performed a review of all the top antivirus softwares and the latest utilities. In the latest issue of PC Magazine. I think you can check that out at pcmag.com or pick up a copy of PC Magazine at your local bookstore.
All right, I'm going to go to that location. While we do that, let's bring on Fred from Louisville. Fred, welcome to a live edition of .com. How can we help you?
Hi, Bob. I really enjoy your show, first of all, I'd like to say. My question is, I'm going to be using Dragon Dictate voice recognition software, and I want to be able to have the best hardware that will make that software work well. Right now I'm running Windows 95 on a 166 Pentium, and it's slower than all get out.
Yeah, right. In
And
fact,
I
isn't
mean-
that 166 just the bare minimum if you're going to use
Yes.
Dragon?
It
stuff,
is. It is. And I'm going to be upgrading in the distant future. But nonetheless, I want to really know what kind of hardware, what should I be looking for in order to optimize the most out of my voice recognition software?
Well, the first thing I would do, and then I'll pass it over to the guys, I would first check the version of Naturally Speaking that you're going to use and see on the box what they recommend. I mean, above and beyond the bare minimums.
I see.
But above and beyond that, I would probably say P2 or P3 with at least Windows 98, the second edition on board, and at least 128 meg. I think that would probably be faster.
128,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And it's also fairly disk intensive. You might want to check and see if you want to have a SCSI controller and something that will really speed your disk.
More than anything, voice recognition software is processor
RAM.
intensive. That's going to be your most important thing. You're probably going to want to look at a rather high-end processor. You don't really need to go into the 600
Like
to 800 range.
Oh, okay.
But look for at least a 450 at the bare minimum. And as Bob said, 128 megs RAM is a good thing. And probably a SCSI hard drive couldn't hurt, but I don't think you're going to see that much gain. Once you have the right processor, you should be okay.
I don't know what version that you bought, but I bought the
think it's
mobile edition of
2.01.
Dragon Naturally Speaking, and it came with this really little cool voice recorder that hooked into my my serial port on my computer, and I can talk into this thing while I'm walking around doing my job at Clear Channel, and I have things to to fix. All I have to do is speak into this recorder, go back to my PC, and it'll download it and put it into my Microsoft Outlook and print out a report of what I have to do. I mean, there are some really neat capabilities with this program. I think it's one of the better ones out there as far as speech recognition is.
Now, how familiar are you with the components of your PC?
Excuse me?
How familiar are you with the performance of components of a PC?
I'd say I'm fair to middling. I'm not an expert, but I'm not an idiot.
Okay. One thing that you might want to do is go out and visit a couple of websites as far as that describe some of the parts that are in your PC, like the RAM and
Yeah.
the processor. Tom'sHardwareGuide.com is a very good one. What you want to do is find out why we recommend some of the stuff that we recommend. That way you can make a better informed decision as far as because money is going to be an issue when you start getting into 128 mega RAM. You might decide that you might want to go with more RAM and a faster CPU. It would be good to find out why this is necessary or why you would want to do this.
Well, I guess also, what about my sound card then? Is in terms of having clarity coming through.
That's an important part.
Yeah, and that's where I can understand, a fast hard drive and a fast, Mac with a lot CPU with, like you said, at least 450 or someone else did. But I'm also concerned about the sound card and the clarity that's coming through when I speak into the microphone.
That's a very good
itself.
point.
And having a good microphone is important.
Absolutely,
too.
and
Yeah, I'm
you
using
don't want
the
to
one
be
that
sick.
came with the software.
You don't want to be sick.
Oh,
You don't
you
want to be
laugh.
angry.
That's not that good when I take it then.
I think
Can you suggest one then?
Well, one of the best sound cards on the market right now, which is becoming very affordable, is Sound Blaster, Sound Blaster Live Volume.
Is that
They
the
make
16-bit version or?
I think they make I think it is a 16-bit version. But the thing about this particular one is it comes in a Sound Blaster Live and then a Live Value version. The Live Value is a lot cheaper and it's a superb sound card.
Sound
I would
Blaster Live.
highly recommend that one.
Okay.
Check the Courier Journal paper today on the tech page also, because there's an article on.
As a matter of fact, I did, and that's one of the issues they didn't address was the
I
hardware.
understand.
Well,
that.
we've got some recommendations, and in fact, if you need some more, you can email us. In fact, folks, if you're sitting at home and like to send an email right now, we can read on the air. We will take those readily. The email address is .combob@home.com. That's .combob@home.com. Fred, thank you for the call.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Once again, you can reach us live at 584-7518. That is 584-7518. This is a live edition. We are here, right here in the studio at Inside Channel 8. We'll be back after these messages on Channel 8 and the live edition of .com.
At Computer Renaissance, we buy, sell, and trade used and new computers. Small ones, big ones, old ones, new ones. We fix broken computers and upgrade older ones. And we sell anything your computer needs, like printers and modems, even software. All at incredible prices you can't find anywhere else. Computer Renaissance. It's not just a neat idea, it's a neat store that buys, sells, and trades used and new computer equipment.
It takes a big man to take on Lennox Lewis, the heavyweight champion of the world. In fact, it takes a bigger man. A man so big, he can only be the undefeated challenger, Michael Grant. And this town's not big enough for both of them. Lewis versus Grant, April 29th, live on pay-per-view. Can Grant cut Lewis down to size?
The word cancer is one of the most frightening words you will ever hear. Hello, I'm Matt Battaglia, and this is Chris and Tom Thieneman. We are the co-founders of the Mint Jubilee, a Derby Eve celebration raising money for cancer research. We have pledged $250,000 to the James Graham Brown Cancer Center. Our objective is to provide education, support, and encouragement to cancer patients. We need your help. To donate, drop by our website or call us and help us ensure a better quality of life to those that need it.
Enter the world of the unusual, the unexpected. It's Sci Friday. Three breakthrough Showtime original series that will take you over the edge. Sci Friday starts with Stargate SG-1, followed by The Outer Limits and Total Recall 2070, only on Showtime. No limits.
And welcome back to a live edition of .com. You can reach us. If the phone's busy, just wait for a few minutes, and as we go through callers, obviously the line will open up. 584-7518. That's 584-7518. Of course, the email address that you can email us now, or anytime really, .combob@home.com. Let's go to the phones, and hanging on is Cassidy from Louisville. Hi, Cassidy. How can we help you?
Yes, I have a question about Shoutcast.
Yeah.
I can't get it to work. And about the, have you used it ever?
Yep.
I haven't used it, but I think Matthew has. Matt?
Yep. Are you trying to pick up some kind of internet broadcast with Shoutcast?
Well, my problem is I can't. I go into the edit, and every time I try to connect to it,
right,
it says there's an error connecting to the host.
Are you using Real Audio by any chance?
I really don't know.
Well, I suggest this. Check in your computer, and see if Real Audio is installed. And a lot of people are going to slap my hand when I say this, but uninstall Real Audio because...
Whoa, wait, before you... Wait a second. Just, are you using the basic version or the advanced version of Real Audio?
Doesn't know.
I really...
Well, regardless, Matt, remember the problems that we've been running into with uninstall?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead, but we're tracking some real problems with Real Audio and uninstalling it. It leaves behind a whole slew of items that, it messes up your computer. We're not quite sure what the answer yet.
Okay, well let me.
There's a 3-page list on Real Audio on how to remove it from your computer. Go ahead, Matt. With that said, sorry.
Well, you're exactly right, Bob, and I should point that out. Let's back up a little bit then. Instead of uninstalling Real Audio, you can go to winamp.com and download the Winamp player.
I have that.
Oh, you do have that. Great. You want to make the Winamp player your default audio player, and when you bring up Shoutcast, when you're trying to receive an internet streaming, it'll bring up Winamp instead of Real Audio.
That's what I have.
I'm sorry.
That's what I have.
Is that what is that?
Yeah, that's what he has.
That's what he has.
Okay. Well then, what website are you trying to pull up?
Well, I'm trying to be a server.
Oh, you're trying to broadcast.
Oh,
That's
different story.
yeah. Are you using the Shoutcast server yourself, or are you using someone else's Shoutcast server?
Well, I'm trying to make my own.
Okay, and you have the server software installed and everything, not just the encoder software?
Well, see, that's my problem. The ICQ, which I don't know what that is.
Well, you see,
have what?
there's several different parts to the Shoutcast system. If you go to their website, they have the thing that says be a DJ, and then there's one that says be a server.
Yeah.
Right
that's
now.
all
And you need
See,
to make
where's
sure
the
you-
Be a DJ and where's
It's going to be under. It's probably at the top somewhere. Says about.
servers? Oh, there's the
Yeah.
stats, but where? Let's see. Download, Winamp, online documentation,
Look towards the left. Is there something about?
listen, home.
Um,
Anything else?
try the bottom then.
All right, Shoutcast.
Yeah, there's a lot to this. But have you downloaded the actual server? Because there's a different thing other than the server. There's a server and then there's a broadcaster.
Broadcaster.
Have you downloaded the
Well,
server?
I download. It says when I come up and I open the Winamp and I hit Control P, and that's the actual like it opens Shoutcast source.
Yeah, that's your encoder. Do you have the server though?
That's what my problem is. Can I use my own website though?
The server is going to have to be installed on a computer with a fast internet connection.
Well, I have cable.
Okay, then you could install it on your computer. You're just going to have to download the server software from
Where can I
Shoutcast.
get that from?
It's going to be at shoutcast.com. It's probably close to where you downloaded that encoder software.
Here it is. It's just go to Shoutcast. You see the Shoutcast, download Shoutcast?
Yes.
Click on that, and that actually will take you to the server software. which
If you
should
have
be
any
coming up.
other questions, why don't you email us, because could be a long one.
Yeah, it could be. It's kind of entailed, and we can give you
We can
detailed
give you
instructions.
detailed instructions.
And
Okay.
how old are you, by the way?
12.
12 years old. All right.
He's running a broadcast station at 12 years old.
That's great. Now, do you know
That is
Matthew's been playing around with another program which allows him to create his own radio station. Which one is that one, Matt? I'll pull it up while we're talking about it.
Actually, I go to a website, live365.com, and this pretty much allows you to do the same thing. You upload your MP3s, and really it gives you a couple of choices. You can use their servers to do your broadcast if you want to do that, and it's a lot easier to do that. All you do is send them your music. Or you can broadcast from your computer live like you're trying to do and use Shoutcast and do a streaming audio. And it's really cool to kind of tinker around with, and if you really wanted to, if you were really creative, you could put in your own little commercials and do some liners and things, and it would be really neat.
What's the URL on that, Matthew?
The radio station that I'm trying to create is WLLR. If you do a search for that, Bob, you'll
What's
find
the URL, though?
It's www.live365.com.
365. I had 360.
Yeah, well, there's 5 more days in the year.
5 more days in the year.
And Matt's radio station is.
Here it is. And then do it. So this is live. Okay, listen now.
And it's
And
what is it?
this is actually pretty cool. We listened to Matt's radio station the other day.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got to tell the folks what's going on here. Now, I'm in the process of launching this thing. Okay, so there's only a few songs there. They're looping.
What is it?
continuously,
WLL?
WLLR. It stands for Louisville Live Radio. Okay. But anyway, while I'm putting my playlist and things together and my commercials and whatever, I've got just a few songs in there looping, and it's just something to listen to while I'm getting.
And this is free of charge, right, man?
Free of charge. That's the best thing about this.
Do you get credit on here anywhere? Does it say your name and all that stuff?
I've used an alias. I'm not stupid.
Well,
That's because Matt has 3 songs broadcasted.
That's right.
And another thing that's nice about live365.com is there's a lot less maintenance. If you're using Shoutcast, you have to have
You have
that
to have your own.
Winamp player on your computer all the time whenever you're playing. Whereas on Live365, you just upload your MP3s and it plays it for you. So you don't have to sit there and have the playlist running on your computer the entire time.
all right,
Okay.
we're going to take a break. You call us or email us if you need anything, all
Oh,
right?
by the way,
Yay.
I was the one who did the Beanie Baby tree.
You did?
In Anchorage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
You're very talented.
Well, I didn't do it, but that's my room.
That's
Very
right.
good. Well, you take care and call us anytime.
Okay, thank you.
With suggestions or for help, okay?
All right, bye.
All right, thank you. 584-7518 is the telephone number to call. We are live on the air with a live edition of .com. You can email us at .combob@home.com. We'll take a break and swap out. Let me just thank these guys real quickly because we're going to swap out to our other group that's here. Let me just say Matthew Mercurio, there's John Markham in front, Matthew behind him, Kyle Harmon, and AJ, a.k.a. the Junk Man up front there. Someday we'll have to get into
Or
why
junk
you-
food.
Junk
Or
food.
junk food. I like that better,
Oh.
junk food, man. How about that? We're back with the live edition of .com in just a moment here on Channel 8.
KP Anderson here for Computer Renaissance Stores with a simple demonstration. Take these computers. This one is new, this one is used from Computer Renaissance. Either one could be just the perfect computer for you. Each comes with a warranty. The big difference is the box they come in and the price you pay. The one in this box will probably cost you twice as much. Wow.
Computer Renaissance. We buy, sell, and trade used and new computer equipment.
This must be one heck of a box.
Classic football. It's a drop on the Villa. Well, it's moments like this that makes the English Premiership so special.
It's a new year, and English Premier League soccer is in full gear. Don't miss any of the action with live week-by-week coverage available through your pay-per-view provider. Get super clubs, super scorers, and super surprises from soccer's most exciting circuit. The excitement is in demand. Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer. You rule.
Consolidated Satellite TV Systems Worldwide.
I got a question about that satellite dish we bought from you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
My husband's in the other room watching Mad Men of Wrestling, and I want to watch a movie on another channel, but all I can get is wrestling.
You don't like wrestling?
Don't like wrestling.
Well, if he's watching Mad Men of Wrestling and you want to watch a different channel, you may need a separate receiver for each set.
Sounds like a hassle.
It is a hassle.
Additional outlets were easy with cable TV.
We are not the cable company.
I want my cable back.
If you're thinking about satellite TV, you might want to think twice. Cable TV, the best value in home entertainment.
Feel the fear in every bone of your body.
You heard about that couple at the airport? Got in a taxi. Stop this car! I found them dead, hands sticking out of the ground.
A serial killer who leaves clues.
Slap of some kind, chunk of a clean ball.
An investigator who tracks his every move.
This crime scene was staged.
Denzel Washington, Angelina Jolie in the bone-chilling thriller.
I gave you so many clues.
The Bone Collector is in demand. Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer. You rule.
And we are back with our live edition of .com. Glad you can stick with us. We're on until 9 o'clock here on Inside Channel 8. And you can always check our recorded 30-minute .com specials every week, several times a week, in fact, right here on Inside Channel 8. You can reach us. If the line's busy, just call back again, 584-7518. That's 584-7518. And you can always go ahead and email us now or anytime that you need some help or have got a question or want more information about something. It's the email address is .combob@home.com. That's .combob@home.com. Let's go back to the phones. Joyce from Louisville. Hi, you're on our live edition of .com. How can we help you?
I'm having a problem sending a fax through my computer, and I'm calling to see if I can get some help.
All right, now let's show you the new group of folks who are here, other members of our 84 WHS 84 online group. Let me introduce to you. Well, oh, look, there's, is that AJ or is that his brother? DJ. No, it's AJ. That's right. AJ is back with us. Also next to him now, we've exchanged, let's see, it was John Markham for Sean Regan, who is with the Complete Mac. He is our Mac expert. Good to see you, Sean.
Nice to see you, Bob.
And in back is Sean Steve Goldberg, who is with SpectraCare, also a member of KipCug.
Great to be here.
Good to see you. And the newest member of our 84 Online and .com group, it's Richard Brittany, who is owner of a company called My Computer Geek, which is pretty cool. They actually, they're the company, we've profiled several times now. They're taking in old used computers, they refurbish them and give them out to those who are in need at absolutely no cost. And they've got a list already of 150 folks who are waiting for computers. And anybody who's out there who's got monitors or old computers and you don't know what to do with them, My Computer Geek is now working with KipCug, and they'll be able to give you a tax write-off for the donation of that equipment to My Computer Geek, and that will be refurbished and given to somebody who's in need, medically or otherwise. All right, now let's go back to the guys. What can we say? How can we help on this question?
What are you using to? What program are you using to send this fax with?
I'm using Microsoft, and I have a PC, and I'm using Microsoft Works.
Okay, are you using Microsoft Fax?
Fax, yes.
Okay, so you're using Windows 95?
Windows 95.
Okay, what problem are you having?
Okay, as I type up my fax and I try to send it through the computer, I'm not able to send it. It doesn't do anything. I don't get an error message. It just doesn't go through.
You don't get an error message?
No.
Okay. How do you know it's not going through?
Well, because the person that I'm sending it to doesn't receive it.
Okay. Do you hear your modem?
I hear my modem dialing.
Okay. Have you double-checked to make sure you're dialing the right number?
Yes. I have.
Okay. Do you have a fax machine at work?
No.
Another fax machine somewhere else?
No, I don't.
Okay. What I was going to suggest is that you attempt to send a fax to another number and see if that works.
Okay.
Then, because the problem could be on the receiving end of the fax, their fax machine could be having some type of problem or something.
Now, I've had several people try to send me a fax. They've attempted to send me a fax, and someone told me that I probably should go into the configuration. Does that sound familiar?
Well, it depends.
And change?
It depends on exactly what needs to be changed. Like I said, the first thing I would try to do is send a fax to a different phone number.
Okay.
And see if it gets through.
Okay.
Now, go ahead, Richard.
Richard, go ahead.
Also, the fax has a tendency sometimes, the modems have a tendency sometimes to over speed dial.
Okay.
So you can put a comma in after your first 3 digits. We'll give it a pause, allowing the modem to slow down. Sometimes they have a tendency to over dial.
Okay.
So try that also. Put a comma before your digits or the first 3 or right after the first 3 numbers.
Okay, I'll try that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, hopefully that'll help you. And by the way, you can always email us. If it doesn't, we'll continue working with you until we find the solution. Sometimes it can be rather difficult. We've got email, in fact, coming in, and this one coming from Mike Jordan says, Bob, in the past, when I closed IE5, my internet connection would automatically be terminated. This is no longer the case, and now not only do I have to close IE5, but then manually terminate my connection, my internet connection. How do I put this back on automatic? Well, that's an interesting question. Guys, what do you think on that one? I went searching on the setup options for IE5 and didn't find anything that would be specific to that.
Actually, Bob, you could probably do this on the monitor right now.
Yeah, I will do that.
If you go to, I believe it's Tools, then Internet Options.
Right, which is where I was, okay.
Okay, and under the Connections tab, there should, okay, well, since we don't have a dial-up modem set up here,
right.
There would be an option under Advanced. Let's see, you don't have it there. Try Setup, see what options they got. Oh, no, it won't give you. But that is where you will find the option to terminate. It's called the automatic disconnect. You can enable it in that area.
All right, that should be rather simple then, right?
Yeah, that would be where.
So again, go to Tools on IE5, and then Connections.
Connections tab.
And then you want to go look for Advanced, which doesn't show in here, but this is 98, so that might be the reason why.
And then we have a cable modem here also.
Yeah, that's true too. Sally from Louisville, how can we help you on liveedition.com?
I'd like to know what your recommendations are for partitioning in the computer, because my C drive is full and part of D drive is full, and I want to know what you think about partitioning, or should you have something added to it to make more room in the computer? I have a Dell computer. I think it's like a 266 or something like that.
Well, Sally, you say you want to partition your hard drive, but you said the C drive is already full?
Uh-huh.
Well, you won't be able to partition it because there's no room to even make on your hard drive. You follow my thought here?
Yes.
Okay, so what you may want to do is add another hard drive, a second hard drive.
Or you can compress the original hard drive.
You can compress what's on there, but Richard, we pretty much suggest that you don't do that these days. It puts an undue stress on your hard drive. What Richard is talking about, Sally, is you end up compressing the information that's there already into a smaller area, so you have more room. Problem is, it makes your hard drive do double duty in terms of uncompressing it and then loading it. And then it's slower to load information onto your computer or to see that information.
Well, it's slow enough already.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And the cost of hard drives now are so inexpensive. If you know somebody who is computer savvy, you can have them, in fact, install another hard drive. And you can get hard drives for $100 or less.
Well, that's what I wanted to find out, if you recommended installing another hard drive versus partitioning the 3 hard drives that I have in there.
You say you have 3 hard drives?
Well, 3, not hard drives, but 3 areas. There's a C drive, a D drive, and an E drive, and there's nothing on the E drive.
Oh, there isn't?
Okay.
Well, you could just write to the E drive. Do you know how big your E drive is?
I don't know. No, I'm not sure.
All right.
I think there's like 266 in the whole computer or something like that.
Well, that would be the megahertz. Do you know how big the hard
It's a
drive
95 Windows is what I've got in there right now, but I've got a lot of junk, I guess, on one of them, and I just needed to...
That tends to clog up, but do you know, so far you haven't told us how big your hard drive is. Let me just show you real quickly on the computer. We'll show you how to determine. Now, we've got 98 on this, but...
Okay, do that.
Let me just, you're looking at your TV?
Yes,
All right,
I am.
So basically what you want to do, regardless of whatever way you're going to do it, you want to go to, I would say go to My Computer, which is in the upper left-hand corner here.
Right.
I'm just going to launch it here.
I know where that is.
All right. And then just, in this case, you're telling me yours says C, D, and E?
Yes.
Now, you sure that's all hard drive? Are you sure it's not a D meaning...
No, I've been told that it's C, D, and E, that there's 3 different spaces in hard drive in there. It's a fairly new computer. I mean, it's like a year old, but that's not new to you all.
No, that's all right. So let's just do this. You would open up your C drive first.
Yes.
And when you open that up, and you expand the window to a large window, it should tell you, or actually I bet you know what, if we
do the right click.
You right click on it. Yeah, let's right click on it.
Yeah.
If you right click on your C drive, and then you'll get it here, or you can hit properties, but and I'm not sure you'll get it in 95, guys.
No, you won't.
In properties, you need to do it.
Right.
So if you right click on,
I've seen that.
okay.
I've seen that thing before.
So that will tell you how much is in your C drive.
It's full.
Okay. Then if you go ahead and you right click on your D drive, and
I have a little bit of space left on it.
All right. And how about on your E drive?
There's not very much used on the E drive. It's almost all open. So
But how much is there? That's more important. How much is actually available for you?
Okay, I see what you mean. All
Because
right.
what you'll do is, it will tell you, well, this is not a good example. Let me go back to the C drive again. Guys, help me out. Basically, it will tell you over here how big the hard drive, that portion of the hard drive is, and then how much is free.
I got you.
I should take that back. This is used, this is free, and this is the capacity for the hard drive. So among them, you're looking for the capacity figure of that particular drive.
What someone has done is when they installed your operating system on your computer, they partitioned it into 3 separate hard drives. It's still one hard drive, but it looks like 3 to you.
I understand it came from the factory like that.
Okay, it probably is a pretty nice size hard drive. What it is when you go to install programs,
Yes.
the default setting will say C program files and then a certain directory. What you need to do is change that C to an E so that your programs will load on your E drive where all the free space is.
Okay.
And that way you need to uninstall some of your stuff on your C drive also.
That's right.
Because
one of the things that the problem is that the way it was programmed in the first place, I think, is that some of the things I want to install will only go into the C drive.
Okay.
Well, let me show you something, Sal, if you would. Let's go back to the computer. In essence here, when you try to install something, eventually you're going to get to this type of a window which says choose destination location. It's going to ask you that almost every time, no matter where.
Right, it does.
Okay. So what AJ is saying here, down here in the destination directory.
I see.
All right. Instead of, you see how it says C over here? Mm-hmm. All right. Instead of saying C, what you want to do is delete that C, and in your case, since it's empty, you would put an E.
I gotcha.
And that will send that file, and it will tell your computer that file is located on your E drive.
Mm-hmm.
See?
All right.
All right.
Okay, I thank you very much.
You're very welcome. If you have any other questions or the problems, you can just email us at .combob@home.com.
I've got it.
All right.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Sal.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back with more of your phone calls and your email. Again, 584-7518 is the phone number to call. We are live in the Inside Communication Studios here on Channel 8. We'll be right back with more .com.
KP Anderson again for Computer Renaissance. You know how sometimes you just outgrow things? Like your old computer. Let's face it, it's probably way too small and you don't know what to do with it. Well, bring it to Computer Renaissance and we'll buy it. And if you're looking for a newer, bigger computer, we'll use your old one as a trade-in. So turn your old computer into one that's just a little bit better fit.
Computer Renaissance. We buy, sell, and trade used and new computer equipment.
I don't know. Maybe I just need a wider tie.
Have you
you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? What is the Matrix?
Visit England's finest museums without ever leaving Louisville. Rembrandt to Gainsborough is the exhibit of the millennium, and you can see it at the Speed Art Museum. From January through April, a collection of 90 old master paintings from the Dulwich Picture Gallery in England will be here in Louisville. Call 1-887-JB-SPEED to order your once-in-a-lifetime tickets today.
Music Choice presents Kenny Wayne Shepherd, a guitarist who's defining blues rock for a new generation. Performing all his hits, including the latest from his new album, Live On. Tune in to Music Choice on Stage with Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band from House of Blues, sponsored by VidNet.com and HOB.com.
And we are back with a live edition of .com. Let's go back to the phones. Brian from Louisville, hi, you're on the air. How can we help you?
I've got a compact Presario that I've had for about 3 years. I've got Windows 95 on it. And I loaded Internet Explorer 5. And I keep getting an error message. It keeps crashing. And I keep getting an error message that says, Internet Explorer caused an invalid page fault error on kernel 32 DLL, and I have no idea why that's doing that and how to correct it.
All right, let's go right to our guys. I'm sure one of them will be able to come up with the answer for you, guys.
Well, probably the best way to correct it, unfortunately, would be to completely wipe out your hard drive and reinstall Windows and reinstall your apps. I just went through the same thing with the system, and pretty much that's a good idea to do that maybe once a year anyway.
And I've had to do that just recently. I had to wipe out the whole thing. And
the other problem with that is my compact originally had a problem of that nature, and it turned out to be the processor. So I would try erasing, reformatting the hard drive first and see if it comes back up again. It may be a processor problem.
Internet Explorer 5 is pretty heavy duty for a machine, especially running Windows 95. It was really made for Windows 98. Have you visited the Windows Update page?
Yeah, I have, and I haven't been able to see anything that would apply to it. I've looked at looked for the kernel DLL file just to see why it would be doing that, and I've not had any luck.
Okay, have you downloaded all of the critical updates that it suggests?
Yeah, I've gone through that update, and everything I've seen on there has been downloaded.
Okay, yeah, Windows 95 really wasn't meant for Internet Explorer 5. That's a pretty heavy-duty browser. What I would suggest was stay with 4, because you didn't see any problems with 4, obviously. And it ran a lot faster, too, didn't it?
It does, yes.
Okay, that's what I would suggest you do.
Did you get that error before you did the Explorer, or did you constantly get this error?
I don't really recall, because I got Internet Explorer 5 just as soon as it came out.
Okay, but did it crash on you before you put that one in?
No.
So you never got that error before?
Not that I remember, no.
Then rule out the processor if that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go back to Internet Explorer 4. Problem is, you're not going to be able to uninstall 5, so you're going to have to go back and do a reformat and reinstall all your applications.
Okay, how do I go back and get in Internet Explorer 4 then?
You might be able to find it on disk somewhere. Also, if you try visiting, Windows' website, they still have 4 posted.
Are you running 95 or 98?
95.
95. It should come bundled with 95.
I think it will.
Okay, so it should come on the hard drive.
Exactly, just on upgrade, yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Some email coming in. Here's something that the folks here at Insight are going to love. This one coming in from Simon. Simon says, hey guys, thought you'd like to know that on Channel 8, the crew, while they were setting up for the Monday night show, were unwittingly broadcasting live on the air for an hour and a half. You saw various shots of the crew, the fronts, the sides, the backs. There are also some various audio bites. Just to pass it on. All right, guys. Thought you'd appreciate that here Inside Crew. Yes, indeed. So if you never know what you're going to see when you watch Inside Channel 8. It can be very entertaining sometimes, so mark your calendar to come back here often. All right. Also,
that was really an episode of The Real World.
Right. Actually, that was the newer show that they've got coming up here. It's called Set Up on Insight. It's a whole hour and a half of how they set up for television shows. It's all natural dialogue. It's kind of ad-lib and all right. Just true story, though. Okay, let's go back to the email here real quickly. Mike, remember he called or emailed us about IE5, the prom. He emailed us again. He says, "Hey, thanks. Works perfectly." The suggestion worked for him. We've got an email here from I guess another Mike. He says, "I downloaded Zone Alarm." Now, folks, this is that free program we've been telling you about to protect yourself when you're on the internet. He's on AOL, can't get the web pages to come up when he's using the high security settings, nor will NetMeeting work. Can you tell me the proper configuration? Guys, a simple one. Go ahead, take it away, and give him the answer.
That would be what you would have to do is set your security settings for medium, and your Zone Alarm should work fine.
Medium.
Medium.
Zone Alarm and also NetMeeting AOL also working fine in medium.
Exactly.
Okay.
When you set it for high, oh man, you block out a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. All right.
You definitely won't get in any trouble. That's for sure.
All right, we move on to, looks like, I'm not sure who this comes from, but he says, "I recently opened a small office and would like to know how I can network 3 computers in my office myself without paying the $3,000 to $4,000 I've been quoted by numerous people. Networking 3 computers." Gentlemen?
Hire Kyle. He works for minimum wage.
Yeah, oh, boy.
You got just
a simple hub will do the trick just fine. If the computers have network cards in them, you're one step ahead of the game. If they don't, you'll have to purchase network cards. Put a small hub in the office, run the lines. Be careful not to run them on the ground where you're going to trip over them. You should run them up above the ceiling, and you should be fine.
All right, and there are other instructions. In fact, we'll be doing kind of a demo of how to how to network, how to hub a network with a hub on an upcoming .com show. Boy, it's a long night, huh? Another email coming. We got plenty of email here, folks. Joe M. writes us. He says, "Is there a website for the tvshow.com and where can I find it? I think the show is very informative, but unfortunately my schedule causes me to miss some most of the time. So I'd like to be able to check into the site weekly and find out what has been on and discussed, and I hope the site has links to the most information. And also, please send me a picture of Terry Miners." Yeah, you betcha. We'll send you a picture of Terry Miners. You want him in the dress, or you want him in the diaper? There is a website. Unfortunately, it's not linked yet. You can always use our 84 Online website, which is www.84online.com. When the switch went over to Insight, they kind of took the link away, so we're working on that. Let's say thank you for the folks who are in for the second half from our crew. Steve Goldberg, Mike, thank you very much. Sean, thank you. AJ, thank you, sir. We are out of time, folks. We'll see you on the next live edition, of course, the tape editions of .com, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with the morning team on 84 WHS. Have a good night.